70 years ago, in his 1944 State of the Union address, President Franklin D. Roosevelt proposed a second Bill of Rights, which included the right to needed health care. 70 years ago. Medicaid was signed into law by President Johnson 49 years ago. The federal government is offering Missouri its fair share of the Medicaid funding that has been provided through legislation passed by Congress and signed into law by President Obama, which, by the way, leads me to believe that Obama cares. And here we are today, protesting the refusal of Republicans in the General Assembly to give Missourians living in poverty the health care benefits that are rightfully theirs. In his second Bill of Rights, President Roosevelt also proclaimed that people have a right to employment paying a living wage, freedom from unfair competition and monopolies, decent housing, education, and Social Security. 70 years later, those rights are still being denied to tens of millions of Americans. If we want to see these rights established, if we want to pass a second Bill of Rights, we are going to need a second American Revolution. We are going to need patriotic Americans to come together as one to make a stand against those who put profits ahead of people, who serve the interest of crony capitalists instead of promoting the general welfare, who deny the rights of people to employment that pays a living wage, decent housing, freedom from unfair competition, and needed medical care. We are blessed. The brave souls who led and won the American Revolution had to bear arms to establish the United States of America. They had to literally risk their lives and be willing to take the lives of soldiers sent by the most powerful nation in the world to deny them and us our God-given rights, our freedom. The Founding Fathers and the many brave and noble souls who have carried on the fight for truth, justice, and the American way throughout our history have given us the means to have a second American Revolution using ballots instead of bullets. We don't have to risk our lives. We only have to vote. We don't have to kill Republicans or even hate them. We only have to vote them out of office. We can hate the sin, but love the sinners. For the millions of Americans who are unemployed, who are homeless, who cannot afford to attend college, or who graduate buried in debt, yet with uncertain job prospects, for the millions of American workers who are being forced to compete with unfair competition from workers in foreign lands who toil for far less than our own meager minimum wage, for future retirees who increasingly believe that Social Security will not be there for them when they reach retirement age, and for those who are being denied Medicaid benefits, the Second American Revolution and the passage into law of the Second Bill of Rights cannot come soon enough. Contrary to earlier reports, the revolution will be televised. When the American people rise up, unite as one, and vote nearly every Republican out of office, it will be a newsworthy event. It will be an historic event. Even Fox News will cover the Second American Revolution. Rush Limbaugh may be stunned into silence. Wouldn't that be a blessing? So contrary to earlier reports, the revolution will be televised on YouTube, if nowhere else. The Second American Revolution is tentatively scheduled for November 4th of this year. But it is up to each and every one of you to decide if the time has come. If you are not ready, we can put it off for 2 more years, for 4 more years, or more. But I'm ready. I am proud to be an American. I love this country of ours. However, my love for our country is not blind. I know there is considerable room for improvement. We do, however, stand here today on the shoulders of giants. We stand here today as citizens of not just the greatest country in the world, but the greatest country in the history of the world. Our ancestors have given the world the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States, and the shining example of over 200 years of democracy in action and the peaceful transfer of political power. I want to see this great country of ours become all that it can be, all that it is meant to be. I want to see us fulfill our promise, live up to our ideals, and achieve our destiny. Maureen Dowd, in a recent op-ed piece, shared a quote from Governor Chris Christie, who was offering his fellow Republicans a little advice. He said, "For our ideas to matter, we have to win. Because if we don't win, we don't govern. And if we don't govern, all we do is shout into the wind." I enjoy gatherings like this, and I thank each and every one of you for being here today, for taking the time to demonstrate that you care, or maybe just like music. We need to gather together frequently over the next 7 months to discuss our ideas for making Missouri, the United States of America, and the world a better place. We need to shout into the wind. We need to make sure the answers are blowing in the wind. But that will not be enough to change the way things are. If we want our ideas to matter, we have to win. So the Second American Revolution begins with a very simple act on the part of every American who shares our feelings, our beliefs, and our values. On November 4th, in the year of our Lord, 2014, go into the voting booth and cast your vote. And when you do not vote for any Republicans. And be on the lookout for hanging chads. Thank you. We now resume the musical portion of our concert today. Thank you all so much.